fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Champion Class Darth Vader and Stormtrooper from Blokees' new Star Wars line. A huge shout out and thank you to Blokees for sending these to me for the purpose of this review. I'm really excited. So previously we took a look at the Galaxy version, and they've got a lot of different IPs with the Galaxy version, and they are fun, about 4-inch scale figures, very easy to snap together. These are more like traditional model kits. You know, you have all the sprues and everything. It's not like a small bag of pieces like the Galaxy versions were. These are full-on model kits, but you don't need any paint, you don't need any stickers, you don't need any pliers or glue. Nothing like that. Very easy to pop off the sprues, and they just all snap together, and then you just have a really cool model kit figure when you are done. So I'm excited to check these out. Now, it says they're based on their appearance in The Empire Strikes Back, although technically either of these characters could be from any of the 3 original trilogy movies. So I don't know why they specifically chose Empire, but in my opinion, it is the best of the original trilogy. Don't at me. But yeah, I think these are really, really cool. I love the artwork here on the box. You get some really cool poses of the figures, and they look phenomenal. I'm excited for these. Kind of gives you like a very basic little breakdown of how to snap them together. There's going to be more instructions inside. And then you even get kind of a preview of the sprues and everything that are included. So that gives you an idea how intricate they are. They also have this like size S, M, L, I assume small, medium, and large. I don't know if that has to do with the size of the figure or the size of like the parts that are included, like how intricate of a model kit it is to put together. But if we take a look at the back here, it does look like Vader has more sprues than the Stormtrooper, so it makes sense that he's a little bit more intricate. Plus he's got the big cape pieces and everything like that. But really cool poses here on the packaging. I think this looks really, really cool. So I'm going to go ahead, we'll pop open Vader, and we can take a closer look at what's inside. And so we go ahead and pop open Vader's box here. We can see everything that is included. And if you're not familiar with the Blokees brand, it's a brand that I have really come to love. I definitely have been kind of more a proponent of the Galaxy version and smaller. I don't myself build a ton of model kits like this, but all the ones that I've picked up from Blokees, I've really enjoyed. Because like I said, if you know me at all, I hate stickers, I hate paint, that's just not my thing. And so that's something I really love about Blokees, where everything just pops off the sprues, it snaps together, and it looks great when you're done. You don't have to do all that other kind of intricate stuff with that usual model kits. Like, I hate when you have to paint a model kit. I just don't. It's just not my bag. I understand some people love it, but I just personally don't. So that's why Blokees has been a big draw for me, and I really love that about them. So you can see here, you know, the various bags with all the different sprues and everything in here, and then we get this really nice instruction booklet, and you open it up here. It shows you everything that's included, so before you get started, you can have a checklist, make sure you have everything, and then it kind of just breaks it down for you. Really nice color instructions. You know, the head, the 2 arms. Over here, you can see the chest and the 2 legs, kind of the waist with the cape pieces and everything there, and then it shows you how to finish up with the weapons and the display base and everything like that. So really nice booklet here to show you how to build this. And I would imagine, I'm trying to think, the last one of these that I built, I would say maybe an hour or 2, like just casually watching TV. So, you know, it was a really fun build. I would imagine this will be the same. Yeah, I mean, I always have a good time with the Blokees model kit, so I'm excited to check this one out. I'm going to go ahead and get Vader and the Stormtrooper put together here, and then we'll take a closer look. So here are the 2 completed figures. I would say that they stand about 6 inches tall, just for scale. Here is the Stormtrooper from the Galaxy version set. So you can see, you know, if he's about 4 inches, then he's about 6. Maybe Vader's slightly taller, but they're both in the kind of 6-inch scale. They came out great. I really like these guys a lot. So they have these cool little display stands here. Very basic. You know, they have a little Star Wars logo there, which is printed, which is really nice. And just kind of have this cool design. They have a little spot for, like, you know, a gripper or a wand or something like that, display stand piece, but it's not included. But then they just kind of have these normal connection points. And they actually have, like, a little piece here at the bottom of the foot so that it can connect into the stand, which is nice. But if you don't like that, they also give you a flat bottom piece if you just want them to stand without the base, and it's very easy to switch them out, just to illustrate that, I like to use a Lego brick separator. I find that that's the simplest. But you can kind of see here on the back how this is completely rounded, and then this one kind of has just the tiniest little divot. That's just so you can kind of get like a nail in there or something to pop this out. And it can be a little difficult, but not impossible. There we go. Popped it right out of there. And then you can go ahead and pop the other piece in. And then that way he just has kind of a smooth foot there. So if you want to just stand him on a shelf without the base, you do have that option. I think that's really nice. I think that's a really cool idea. I like that. So if you don't want to use the base, you don't have to. But yeah, just taking a look at this Stormtrooper, I think he came out fantastic. I mean, the detailing on the helmet there looks really, really cool. And it's kind of fun. You can pop this off because it's a pretty, whoops, the neck actually came with him that time. Sometimes that does happen, but easy enough to pop back in there. If I can get just the helmet off. If you have like a head from something else, you could just kind of keep this as a helmet and have him hold it, which I think is kind of neat. So I'm wondering if they're going to do like, actually maybe we have seen pictures already of like Han and Luke in the Stormtrooper outfits, armor, whatever term I want to use, because it would be easy enough to just pop the heads off and pop something else on instead. But yeah, they look good. Really, really nicely done. So you saw the ball joint there at the base of the skull. You also have a ball joint at the base of the neck. You have a butterfly joint so that this can come forward a little bit there. You can kind of move the shoulder pad out of the way so you can get a nice hinge there. It's a ball joint. See if that shows up. There we go. Well, the ball joint's actually connected into the body. The hinge is here at the shoulder. So you can move that all around. Nice out to the side movement. You have a swivel here where kind of the armor piece meets the arm. Then you have double jointed elbows. You have a ball joint and a hinge at the wrist. And you can see right now I have him kind of having a pointed finger. And then you also have a blaster hand. So this is molded in, and these are very easy to pop off. So we'll have him stand here for a moment. And this actually has the blaster like permanently part of the hand. And you do have a lot of other hand options. So for the Stormtroopers, you have a closed fist set of hands. And then you have like an open set of hands like this. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the blaster on. And then say I wanted to take the pointing finger off and then use like this open hand. And you can see that they just pop back on. Is that on all the way? Sometimes I like to hear the popping sound. There you go. Nice and clicks on there nice and solid. And then you can kind of have like, you know, him holding the blaster, and then you can bring this hand up to hold it, something like that. Works pretty well. And I can bring this in a little bit more and just bend this. There we go. So then it looks like he's holding the blaster. I like that quite a bit. So that's pretty cool. Also, you have a ball joint here in the diaphragm, as one is at the waist. And then you can move these little pieces out to the side so you can get good range of motion with the hips. Out to the side. You can move these up and down a little bit. The way it's built, the ball joint can actually swivel up and down. And then you have a swivel here at the thigh. Double jointed knees for really nice range of motion there. And then you have a hinge and a rotation at the ankle, as well as a rotation so you can move the foot around this piece, and then you can swivel the foot on this piece, which is nice. And then you have little toe movement there as well. So really great articulation for these. They look really solid. I think they just came out amazing. I mean, that is a Stormtrooper, perfectly done. You can also, I think I mentioned already, but you can hinge these shoulder pads. On the back here, all of that detailing is perfect. It looks great. They even have the two different kind of, and I've never understood why Stormtroopers have like two different knee pads, but they do, and they've replicated that perfectly. So just all in all, I think the Stormtroopers really came out great. They even have the little piece there that kind of connects both halves of their chest armor, which I think is really nicely done. So Yeah, I love it. I think the options, the hand options are perfect. I like the blaster. I think that little pop of blue on the helmet just pops so nicely and looks great. Yeah, these guys came out really, really fantastically. I don't usually go for 6-inch figures, but these are really fun to build. I would say like it may 45 minutes to an hour. The directions are really easy to follow. I just threw something on TV while I was building, and it was a really great building experience. They came out great. And I can stand him on here even though he's not pegged in. He's not going to have any trouble. Let me get him posed a little better. There we go. Let's check out Vader. So Vader came out great. And again, he has that same little connection piece there on the bottom of the foot. But he, of course, does have the flat sole foot as well, if you prefer that. You can see very similarly to how the Stormtrooper had the blaster molded into his hand. He has a lightsaber molded into this hand. And then you have this really beautiful translucent red blade. But you can pop this out. And they include a second one that has kind of like the blur effect, which I think is really cool. So if you have him like slashing with it, I feel like this is the new trend now. Everyone, even Hasbro, has started doing this with the kind of like slashing lightsaber effect there. So that's cool. I appreciate that they give you both options. I kind of just prefer the regular blade. That's just my preference, but they are both included. The helmet looks really good. Really nicely done there. Great movement. Just like the Stormtrooper, he's got articulation at the base of the neck and the base of the skull. So you can move that around. He's got this cape. Now, the two cape pieces are kind of a softer, more malleable plastic, which I think is nice because you wouldn't really want like a weird, hard, brittle cape. So they've done a great job here of replicating that. If for some reason you wanted to take it off, you absolutely can. Just pop the head off and the cape will go, and then you can pop that back on. So for whatever reason you wanted to take it off, and maybe I'll leave it off for a moment just so we can check out the articulation, but helmet looks good. You have the shoulder pad here, and you can move that around. He has the butterfly joint. Now, sometimes I will say to kind of get the hand out to the side, the shoulder pad's not going to look like it moves, but it does move. But you do have to kind of like utilize that hinge and then push it back down. But it moves out of the way. It does what you need it to do. And then just so you can see, that's what the ball joint looks like inside the butterfly joint there. Got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. I have him with kind of a menacing hand pose right now, but he's got some other hand options as well that we'll take a look at. He has a ball joint there in the like diaphragm as well as at the waist. And then he can kick pretty far forward, decently out to the side. Now, again, the cape's going to get in the way a little bit, but I think it's fine. I mean, Vader's not really known for his ridiculously spry stances, but he does have the capability. So if you wanted to take the skirt off, he's got all the same articulation points as the Stormtrooper. And so you absolutely could do something like that. And, he's got the posability. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this cape back on. And the cape just kind of like rests here. And then you pop this back in, and that just kind of keeps it in place naturally. And it's nice because it does kind of go right up against his neck, but you can see the contour is meant like to drape on the shoulders, and it just works really well. So I think that looks great. I'm going to put him back on the display stand here. So yeah, I think they crushed it with Vader. I mean, the detail is amazing. You can see all of the paint applications for, his control units and all his circuitry. Really nicely painted. None of that has to be done by you. All the paint is pre-applied. The pieces come like that. They look great. Everything just snaps together. Again, no glue, no paint, no stickers. Just snapping together pieces of plastic. And he looks good. He really, really looks good. I like these a lot. Now, we have some other hand options here for Vader that I wanted to show off. He also has a closed fist set of hands. He has two different, what I'm calling like force pose hands. So he's got, and actually these might not be the same, but he's got various like hand gestures. So you could kind of make it look like, maybe he's reaching out, using the force, something like that. Then he's got kind of like a general, like hand outstretched, something like that, using the Force. And then he's got kind of like a little bit more gripping, but still open hands. So I think it makes sense because, he has a lot of different hand gestures he uses when he's using the Force. And I think that makes sense. And those are all really nice options. And then he also comes with a pointing hand as well, just like the Stormtrooper did. So a lot of great options there. They both have some really nice hand options. But yeah, they turned out great. I mean, they really turned out great. I think Vader looks amazing. I can't wait to get someone to battle him with the lightsaber. I'm thinking maybe like either. I mean, these two are technically from Empire Strikes Back, so maybe Luke in his like Bespin outfit to battle Vader would be awesome. Even flight suit Luke would be cool. But yeah, these guys are really, really cool. And I mean, if one Stormtrooper is cool, then having like a little armada here is even cooler. So you could definitely army build yourselves some Stormtroopers here and have Vader have a little battalion. Very cool. I think this looks amazing. I love this. Stormtroopers are definitely army buildable. And once you put one together, they're so easy. I built the other two even faster than the first one. The directions are very easy to follow and they're just fun. I mean, like I said, throw something on TV and before I knew it, I already had half the figure built. They're just so fun and easy to put together. And they look really good. I'm really excited for the future of what Blokees can do with the Star Wars brand because these first offerings have been so strong and so cool. And I love these. I really, really love these quite a bit. And having Vader have a battalion of, half a battalion. I don't know how many people are actually in a battalion, but a small squad of Stormtroopers here. Very, very, very cool. I think these turned out amazing. Honestly, they're model kits, but they don't feel like model kits. They feel like just really nice articulated figures. They look amazing. They were so fun to put together. I love the fact that you don't have to glue anything or paint anything. If you guys know me at all, I definitely don't paint stuff. I hate doing stickers. So there's none of that here. They were really fun. And like I said, very easy to put together. I think maybe about 45 minutes to an hour each. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what else Blokees has coming down the pike because I'm very interested. The Galaxy version ones were really, really fun. Those Mandalorian figures. These are also really fun. I mean, you can't go wrong. I feel like with Vader and a Stormtrooper, two really strong offerings to start out. But I feel like it's definitely time, to bring in some of the Rebels, get the other side of the conflict going here. So I'm hoping, Han, Chewie, Leia, Luke, of course, could be on the docket in the near future. I think these guys are really, really cool. And I'm just blown away. Like I said, I really think they crushed it with these. I love all the different hand options and other accessories that you have. The two different blade styles for Vader, I think, is a really cool choice. And like I said, I want to have a version of Luke to fight him in a lightsaber battle on my shelf because I think it's going to look really, really cool. The other thing I would really love, if they do, I love these display stands, but maybe if they do some kind of diorama or additional display stands that you could hook together to make a scene. Because if I could get something going where it kind of looks like, the carbon freezing chamber from Cloud City, and then I could have Vader and Luke battling on it, I think that's something that would look majorly just fantastic on a shelf. I hope that's something that maybe, just a suggestion, maybe something they could get into, some kind of dioramas, because these figures look awesome. And I would love to have, they have these little spots on the bottom and just have different places they could pose them around in the scene to be fighting each other. I think would be a lot of fun. But even these display stands, I just like just to have one single character. I think they work really well. They look great. I love the little Star Wars logo. Such a nice little touch there. Yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of blown away with how good they are. I don't typically myself go for 6-inch figures, but I'm all in for these. These are a lot of fun. They look great. And I'm super excited for what the future of Blokees Star Wars holds because based on these first offerings, I'm very, very excited to see what's to come. So huge shout out again to Blokees for sending these to me for the purpose of this review. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I want to hear from you. Are these something that piques your interest? Are you into it? Who else do you want to see? Like, who do you hope they do next? because I mean, there's so many great characters in Star Wars. My mind is abuzz with all the possibilities and everything. So let me know in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.